Author and talk show host William Bennett believes we have a major problem in American society. Men don't know what it means to be a man. You've been saying that for a while now, actually.
Only when I talk to you, Jeff.
Co-hosts, yeah.
The former education secretary and drug czar has written the Book of Man, focusing on traditional qualities like honor, duty, and integrity. And Bill Bennett joins us this morning. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you. I was interested. Your previous guest, Mr. Pinker, didn't have good things to say about honor, but it still matters.
Honor still matters.
Has to.
Very important to you, very important in what you see as the measure of a man. So how are men failing nowadays? What's gone wrong?
In almost every way. Achievement, ambition, education. We've flipped with the women. Somebody said, you go, girl, and they went. They did it, and they've done great. They've done terrific, but men are falling behind. The best evidence is, again, the statistics in terms of men working, men getting married, men not even seeking employment.
Why is marriage so important?
Can we just mention those marriage numbers, by the way?
Sure.
Yeah.
So the marriage numbers are, in 1960, 72% of men were married. Today, it's 51%.
Yeah.
You think that's significant?
It is significant. I think it's the commitment that grounds men. Now, the culture's changed. Boys used to be raised with the expectation that someday they would have to provide for a woman and children. They don't have that expectation anymore. Women can provide for themselves. So there's a cultural signal that's changed. Nevertheless, if you look at the culture and you look at the condition of men, and you talk to women. That was the most interesting thing about this book, the response I've gotten from women. I'm a conservative guy. People, I thought, would say, well, this is, this old-fashioned stuff. Women have said, you don't know the half of it. Guys living in their basement, guys playing video games, guys who cannot measure up, guys who cannot make a commitment. There's a lot of that. That's a problem.
So, but where does, you talked about the shift in cultural norms and women doing more and women, providing more for themselves and not needing to be taken care of. But is there more to it than that? There has to be.
Fatherlessness, I think, is a big part of it. Because when you don't have men in the lives of children, boys don't learn what it is to be a man. Mimesis is the Greek word, imitation. You point out, you see it. A lot of people, neuropsychologists, think that there's a problem with drugs, not illegal drugs necessarily, which used to be my job. But all the Ritalin, all the Adderall, you got a lot of drugged up kids out there, may make for passivity in boys in ways that we don't like.
Tim Tebow, good role model?
Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely. Why do people want to? Why do the Detroit Lions want to make fun of Tim Tebow?
I don't know. Well, it seems like a number of people do. He seems to be a lightning rod for criticism.
No, he is, and I think this underscores something. In fairness and honesty, if he were a Muslim, people wouldn't be criticizing him. They'd be, first of all, deathly afraid to criticize him, would not be politically correct, and they might fear for their lives doing it. But because he's a Christian, and a professing Christian, a publicly professing Christian, he's fair game to be criticized. He also, by the way, doesn't mind it much.
Speaking of criticism, you've been critical of Newt Gingrich. The debate was last night. You talk about people being real men. You've been rather critical of Newt Gingrich. Is he a real man?
I think I tried to be fair. Well, you take a man in the totality of his actions. As far as I'm concerned, did a lot of good, did push Bill Clinton to sign welfare reform, did get the contract with America. His life has been up and down. There's been a lot of mistakes there, and I think he's now answering for them and feeling the heat in Iowa. I think, by the way, the biggest thing is not the marriages. That's over. I think that debate's over. I think the biggest thing is this money from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and it's a big problem.
You didn't say whether you think he's a real man or not.
Oh, I don't know, because I don't know him well enough. I know him pretty well. I think he's a mixed blessing.
Good for the Republican Party, because a lot of people saying we don't want him to be our guy.
Yeah, well, I think historically he's been good for the Republican Party. Whether he'd be a good president, I don't know. He's got to be the smartest guy in the room. This is something I know about Newt. Sometimes he is the smartest guy in the room. But there's a certain idiosyncrasy about Newt that worries me. I don't want this debate to be about Newt. I don't want it to be about whether Newt's reliable or not. I want it to be about the big issues that this country's confronting.
Bill Bennett, always good to see you, sir.
Can I say something about Christopher Hitchens?
Really, really, really quickly.
He was left. I was right. But we had great debates, great drinking bouts. And I hope, as the big atheist he was, he's in for a big surprise.
A wonderful debater. Thank you for those.
Really nice to have you here. Thanks again.
Rest in peace.